Alright, hey guys, this is my first stream on Mixer. You may notice a couple of cuts, had a little bit of technical difficulty, and then also cut out the dinner break that I had in there. But otherwise, this is part one of my Aviary Attorney series. Figured I'd go ahead and throw it up on YouTube just to have it out there as well. Uh, the audio will improve in the next video, in the next part. I just had some issues, obviously, with the initial setup, and for some reason, audio is always an issue for streaming for me. I don't know why, but that's the case. So, enjoy the video, and thanks for stopping by. Greet. Today we are going to play some Aviary Attorney. Bird lawyers. Birds. Hmm? Hi. Suppose you'll want to hear the game too. How well? Okay. Oh, well. That'll get annoying after a while, so I'm going to mute that now. Sweet. Alright, cool. New game. I have not played this at all. Looked at a review. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, this looks like Phoenix Wright, except birds in 1840s France. I watched the review. Hey, it's basically Phoenix Wright with birds in 1840s France. A cat with claws. Act 1. It's midday already. Where on earth is that featherhead? Okay, I'm not gonna do that. That's supposed to be French, but I'm not gonna make them French because I can't do that. Well, well, well. Look who finally decided to get up. Haven't you heard what they say about the early bird falcon? Ugh. Too early for worms. Pass the Cabernet Sauvignon. There'll be time for that later. There will be time for that later. We've got some business to handle first. Business? A letter arrived while you were sleeping. I haven't opened it yet. It's probably just more junk mail. Go ahead, Sparrowson. You may have the honors. All right. Dear Monsieur Falcon, I'm writing to you today because my daughter, Dame Catherine, has been arrested for a crime she did not commit. She's being held at Le Concierge prison on the charge of murder, no less. Her trial is in 3 days' time. I would greatly in your debt if you would offer her your legal aid. Yours sincerely, Senor Petio Demau of the Demau estate. French is a terrible language. and I hate it. Well, this is quite something. I know. Your first serious clients in months. Not just that. The DeMille estate is well known for its exuberant wealth. Money. Even if we cannot do much for Dame Cataline, his lordship would still reward us handsomely for our efforts. Wow, I suppose you intend on defending Dame Cataline in court? Of course. We were bird lawyers. What else were we gonna do? Bird? I'd much rather lawyer than bird. Of course, it would be foolish to let such a good opportunity slip through our feathers. Grab your coat, Sparrowson. We're going to find our kitty client a la concierge. Excellent. My derriere was getting tired from all this sitting around. I am not doing consistent voices. Oh, but I better file away, senor. Oh, but I better file away, senor. Pertois' letter has been added to your evidence folder. Sweet. Ooh, look at that. You may access the evidence folder at any time by pressing the X button while the suitcase symbol is highlighted. Nice. Ah, nearly forgot my wallet. Wouldn't want to lose that again. Or that. Again. Oh, there we go. I'm reading text into the future. I recall you losing it at the New Year's party. And at Christmas. Yes, alright, no need to make a list. Falcon has picked up his wallet. You may see how much money he is carrying at any time by pressing the X button while the wallet symbol is highlighted. Sweet. You can change which symbol is highlighted with the L button and the R button. Move left to right. Nice. Let's make a move. You're on the stream, chicken dog. Ooh, the map. From here you can travel to any place listed, blah blah blah. Use the left stick to select different areas from the list. Neat. A sign on the door reads, "The Aviary Attorney Offices. No case is too big or too small. No junk mail. La Concierge." Alright, let's go. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the stone-cold foyer of the concierge prison. Sullen-faced guards and visitors linger beneath the medieval archways. Ah, the concierge. They say this is the finest prison of the whole of France. The outer walls are impenetrable. The cells are spotless. The guards are well-mannered. What do you want? Good day, monsieur. I am here to see Dame Cataline de Mel. I am due to represent her in court. Did I? Apparently I did. Cool. Oh, you're a lawyer, huh? Fine, fine. Follow me. Well, what are you waiting for? Keep up. My papa hasn't forgotten about me, has he? Forgotten. Dame Cataline de Mel, I presume. You've arrived, the fantastic lawyer, Monsieur Falcon, and his petite assistant Sparrowson. Milady is knowledgeable. Don't talk like that, Sparrowson. Sorry. You just called him out for being a neckbeard. That's so good. That's so good. Okay. My papa told me that he would only hire the best lawyers in town. I'm flattered. but they weren't available at such short notice, so we hired the first people in the address directory. Yay. Oh. You see, Falcon? I told you listing under Aviary attorney would pay off. Let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns. Dame Catalina, could you fill us in on some details? Your father's letter was a little brief. I can do my best. What is it you wanted to know? I mean, knowing what happened would be a good idea. What exactly happened the night of the murder? Ooh, let me think. It was Friday evening. Me and my papa had arrived at Chateau Crinière, the home of the great Baron Roglier. Rogel. I'm not. I should just not try. French is such a terrible language. Sorry if that offends anyone, but I don't like French. It's awful. The French are fine, but French itself, no. My papa spent all evening talking with Monsieur Grenouille and the Baron about business stuff. Drugs, probably. Business stuff? Well, the three of them own a railway company together. Oh, right, it's the 1800s. Railway drugs. So all through dinner, they were talking about company shares and investments, but I didn't really understand most of it. But after dinner, this man with a camera took our photograph. That was a lot more fun. Sorry, man with a what took your what? 1840s France. People don't know what a camera is. Camera. It's a very new gadget. A tiny bug sits in a box with a tiny paintbrush and paints your picture very fast. That is some Flintstone shit right there, man. What? Oh, man. That's great. I have become enslaved to the chicken dog. Molly, what are you doing? Molly, where? Say hi? You want to say hi? Say hi. Say hi. Okay. Hi. They're not paying attention to you in there. They're not paying attention to you. Well, too bad. I'm gonna not pay attention to you either. Swoosh! Swoosh! Okay. A tiny bugs. Oh yeah, I already read that part. In 10 minutes, poof, you have a perfect picture. Okay. Wow, technology is amazing. I don't think the lady's explanation is right, Sparrowson. Oh, good. Pshaw, let me believe. Still, the camera sounds like a very special device. I'll make a note of it. Camera has been added to your evidence folder. Please continue, Dame Cataline. So after we had the photograph, I went into the gardens to get some air, and that's when I found the body of Monsieur Grenouille. He was all ripped open. Ooh. Instead of Jack the Ripper, it's Jacques the Ripper. A housemate saw me standing over the froggy Monsieur and called for help, and then the police arrived. Before I could say anything, I ended up here. It was such a blur. It must have been terrifying. It wasn't so bad. My papa taught me how to be a brave cat. Was there something else you wanted to ask, Monsieur Falcon? Dame Cataline, who attended the banquet that evening? Well, there was me and my papa. My dearest Maman couldn't make it. And there was Baron Rogel, who hosted the dinner, and his housemaid, Colleen, I think she was called. Of course, the Monsieur Grenouille, well, until, he died. And there was Monsieur Robito de Rubinio, the man with the camera, but he was only there for a little while. I think that was all. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? Was there anything suspicious? Suspicious? Like, maybe a guy lurking in the shadows, or a bloodied murder weapon? Monsieur Falcon, I do believe you are looking for an easy answer. You got me. I did not see anything, I am afraid. The evening was very normal, the food was delicious, the conversation was boring. It was all very ordinary until the incident. I see. Wait, Falcon, you missed something of huge importance. I did? Dame Cataline said, you said the food was delicious, but you didn't say what food it was. You and your damn stomach. Let me see. Oh, we had a poached red herring to start, garnished with garlic butter. Go on. Then a marbled steak, served with perfect bloody rare. Or served perfect bloody rare. Glorious, Falcon. Write this down. What? This can't possibly be relevant to the case. Write it all down, please, for me. Fine. They've added a literal red herring in the game. I love this. This is perfect. Red herring has been added to your evidence folder. Bloody rare steak has been added to your evidence folder. Sparrison, remind me not to let you talk to clients on an empty stomach. Come to think of it, I did find it a little strange that we weren't given any cutlery. No cutlery? Even for the steak? Nope. Nope. You would think that the great baron of Chateau Crinière, would have gorgeous silverware, but there was none to be seen. What do you say? About 30 minutes? Okay. That is a little peculiar. Was there anything else you wanted to know, Monsieur Falcon? No, I think that will be all. So what's the plan now, Falcon? The way I see it, we have two tasks. We should head to Chateau Crinière and try to see the scene of the murder for ourselves. And we should try to track down the supposed photographer, Monsieur Robito de Rubinio. 2 days for 2 tasks. Seems doable. But we should head back. And get some rest. I see some typographical errors in this game. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Wait, Monsieur Falcon, before you go. You do believe my story, don't you? I believe in justice. Dame Cataline, I believe that a fair trial can draw the truth from any situation. I believe in justice. That's good to hear. You're not wrong, Falcon, but that's not what the lady needed to hear. You might want to work on being less of a, how to put it, fils de pute. If serving justice makes me a fils de pute, then I'll wear that title proudly. Dame Cataline, Monsieur Grinwy, Baron Blah. These names are all getting a bit confusing, aren't they? Not particularly. Well, it is for me. I'm going to start compiling a Facebook so that I can keep track of everyone, or of who everyone is. A what? A Facebook. It's a collection of people's names, pictures, and descriptions in one easy-to-carry catalog. I think I understand. The name could use a little work, though. Well, the humor in this game is great. It's hilarious so far. A new day. The game saves automatically at the start of each new day. Oh, it's like Stardew. Although Stardew saves at the end of it. Well, it's technically the same thing, kind of. But you can also make quick save anytime, starting save and quit from pause menu. Oh, yeah, it's not like Stardew. Sweet. Where do we go first? The scene of the crime. Falcon and Sparrowson into the courtyard outside Chateau Criniera. People with dirty clothes and gaunt faces linger around the building's shadows. Excusez-moi, messieurs. I don't mean to be a pain, but my little girl and I are sick and starving, you see. I don't suppose you'd happen to have some spare change? You have 20 francs in your wallet. What will you do? 1 franc. Many thanks to you, messieurs. That was pretty generous of you, Falcon. Times are tough. Making sure mother and child have something to eat is the least I can do. But what am I doing, standing here moralizing? Come on, Sparrowson. We've got business to attend to. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the pristine wood-paneled foyer of the Chateau Criniere. Whoa, look at this place. Baron must be loaded. More than loaded. When it comes to lucrative investments, the Baron is a legend. Factories, chocolate shops, hotels, railroads. The Baron owns a little bit of everything this side of the Seine. Is he here right now? Yes, he's a smug-looking chap with the impressive mane. But we must approach a man of his stature with tact and finesse. Hey, Baron, we'd like a word! How's that? Sparrowson, you have the finesse of an inebriated warthog. You can thank me later. I think I caught his attention. Did I hear my name? Great Baron Property owner extraordinaire. At your service. And who might you fellows be? More investigators? We're attorneys. Not quite. I am a private attorney, J.J. Falcon. And this is my associate, Sparrowson. Ma'am. Upstairs, your dog. Chesney, that's the spot back here. Hi. Right. Lawyers, eh? You know, you aren't the first to have passed through here today. Oh? Yes, this jumpy, twitchy fellow came by this morning, asked a bunch of questions, then hopped away before he heard the answers. Most curious. Do you know who he was, Sparrowson? Perhaps. I have a hunch you'll be seeing him at the trial. A friend of yours? Something like that. So what may I do for you, messieurs? We're doing some research on Monsieur Grinwy, the frog who was killed here on Friday evening. Of course. Such a tragedy. He was a good friend and a loyal business partner. I suppose you, messieurs, will be wanting to see the crime scene for yourself. Naturally, yes, that would be fantastic. Well, be my guest. You will find the garden where the murder occurred through the back doors. You may also be interested in the lounge on the second floor, third door to the right. That would be where we gathered for a group photograph prior to the... unfortunate incident. That's an awfully long pause. Oh, can we see the finished photograph? I'm afraid not. It is to my understanding that a photograph must be developed before it can be viewed. It's a slow process. My own copy of the photograph is to be delivered in 3 days' time. That's no good to us. The trial may be over by then. Nonetheless, we appreciate your hospitality. Thank you, Baron. It's no trouble at all. I'll be here to see you out when you are done with your investigations. So, where shall we go first? Let's go upstairs. Second floor, third door on the right. This must be the room where the photograph was taken. Psst. Hey Falcon, did you see that? See what? That housemaid totally just did something shifty. Shifty? I think she just pocketed something from that drawer. You should totally call her out on it. Excuse me, mademoiselle. Ah! Yes? Are you two policemen? No, we're private attorneys. My name's J.J. Falcon. I'm Sparrowson. Oh, how rude of me. My name is Colleen Duhat. I hate French. So, what can I help you, messieurs, with today? We're investigating the murder that took place last week. Do you mind if we ask you a couple of questions? That's fine. Just let me grab a chair. That's better. What was it you wanted to ask? We're looking for the room where the photograph was taken prior to the incident. Would you happen to know whether this is the right room? Oh yes, you're in the right place. I saw the photography session myself. Let's see. The cameraman was standing just about where you're standing, actually, Monsieur Falcon. And where was the camera pointed? Right at the clock above the mantelpiece. The Baron insisted on using that very location. Ooh. More of the clock in the photograph. Interesting. Now that I'm looking at it, something isn't right about that clock. I know, the painting on it totally clashes with the decor. I was thinking along more obvious lines. The clock has no hands. Ooh. Oh, that clock has never had hands in all these years, or in all the years I've worked here. I think Baron just keeps it around as a conversation piece. Well, we're conversing about it, so I guess it's working. It's a peculiar detail, though. I'll make a note of it. Missing clock hands have been added to your evidence folder. Is there something else you want to ask? You were a little nervous when we came in. We thought we were police officers. Is there something we ought to know? Anything you need to confess? No. I suppose I'm just a little nervous after all the drama last week. Don't pressure her. Are you sure there isn't anything you're hiding? It's okay to tell us. We're defense attorneys. That means we help people get away with criminal acts. Right, and... Wait, what? No. That's not an accurate job description, Sparrowson. Isn't? Oh. What do we do then? I'll tell you later. Honestly, messieurs, I have nothing to hide. Was there something else you wanted to ask? Nah. No further questions. Thank you, mademoiselle. You've been a huge help. I should have gotten coffee. There's no problem, messieurs. Actually, there's something. I know you two saw me stealing as you came in. I appreciate that you didn't give me the third-degree part. You see, I'm trying to save up to follow my dreams and... Well, never mind, I'm rambling. It's no problem, mademoiselle. To be honest, we have a much larger crime to worry about. Although I should probably ask, I don't suppose you've been stealing anything else, silverware perhaps. Ah, you know about that? Ah, yeah, I suppose that was me. Started it with a couple of teaspoons. I didn't think the Baron would miss those. But, well, yeah. I suppose the habit got a little away from me. That's one mystery solved, at least. Molly, you're very strong. Missing silverware has been added to your evidence folder. Would appreciate it if you didn't tell the Baron. He's been really kind, and I would hate to break his trust. I see. So, where to next, Big Bird? That guard. That's what he said. We'll take a look. Later. Dame Cataline said that she found Monsieur Grinwy on the stairs by the fountain. So this must be the very spot where the murder took place. Hey, Falcon. Do the crime scene investigation thing. Crime scene investigation thing? Yeah, you know, the thing where you get all eagle-eyed and analyze every object in excruciating detail. You mean search for evidence? Yeah, do that. That's not a bad suggestion. It wouldn't be the first time the Parisian police have missed something right under their noses. In investigation, you are free to examine the surrounding area. But we're outside. It's not a room. You can move the pointer using the left stick. Press the A button while the pointer is over an item of interest, and Falcon will examine it in closer detail. When you have had enough, or when you can find nothing else to examine, hold the B button down for a few seconds to leave investigation mode. A finely crafted horse statue. The mane almost looks lifelike. Would you say it behooves you to stroke it? No, I would not. Another beautifully made horse statue. You know, my uncle once had a horse that refused to eat hay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep. Eventually we realized that it was just filling up on good. Well, lost my headset. Because that was so funny. Yep, eventually we realized that it was just filling up on horse duvers. Ugh, terrible. That's terrible. Red blood on the staircase. This must be where Monsieur Grinwy died. Do you see any bloody footprints? Ooh, or maybe a name scrawled in blood written with the frog's last breath. Wishful thinking. All I'm seeing here is a big sticky puddle. There's nothing to indicate that the body was moved or that the frog left the last minute too. All I can make out from the bloody mess is that Monsieur Grinwy was attacked and killed on the staircase. This fountain is finely crafted. It's solid carved marble. That can't have been cheap. I see nothing but water in the bottom of the lower basin. It's a shame we can't see inside the upper basin from here. That would be a perfect place to quickly stash a murder weapon. Ta-da! That's actually not a terrible line of reasoning. We ought to wade in to take a closer look to be sure. Yeah, I suppose we should. Oh, I apologize. I wasn't being direct enough. What I meant to say was, Sparrowson, go wade into the fountain and take a closer look inside the upper basin. Me? No way. If you want to go wading, do it yourself. I'm a respectable lawyer. You can't expect me to roll up my trousers and paddle around the fountain like a duck in the lake. Yeah? Well, you don't pay me enough to justify getting my sweet threads wet. Look, there's only one reasonable way to settle this. We'll flip for it. Flip for it? Yep. I'll flip this 1 franc coin. You call the outcome. Get it wrong, you go for a swim. So what'll it be, heads or tails? Napoleon face or plant squiggles? Tails. Plant squiggles? It's called a wreath, Sparrowson. Sure, I'll bet on the plant squiggles. Here I go. Its heads. Would have gone with the old Emperor Falcon. Gah, fine. Hold my shoes. Falcon should really learn how to spot a rigged flip coin, or coin flip. What a douche. I almost feel bad for cheating. Almost. Ah, you're back. Had a good swim? No, I'm a bird, not a fish. Hi, Molly. Molly, what are you doing? Hi. Hi. What? Please, dog. I know. Make her scratch it. Anyway. But I did find a mystery item in the upper basin. It's no murder weapon, though. What's this? It's brown and sticky. It smells weird. Don't tell me that you picked up a very wet cigar butt, possibly belonging to Baron Aviary. Correct. But that shouldn't be too surprising. It is his house, after all. I'll stash it in the evidence folder, just in case. Cigar butt has been added to the evidence folder. Is there anything else we need to do here? A horse statue. This one has a goofy face. That reminds me of a joke. A horse walks into a bar, and the barkeep says, "Why the long face?" Yes, we've all heard that. What? No, the barkeep says, "You've got to stop coming here. You're bringing us under the stable." I think it's time to rein in the horse jokes. Baron Raga certainly likes his horse statues. I don't mind the horse statues, but the little cherub people creep me out. Babies should be waddling, not attempting saddleless horseback riding. I think we're done here. Good call. You sure you don't want to take another dip? We still have a good time. Don't push your luck. Back to the main hall we go. Did you, messieurs, have a good look around? I trust everything was in order. We had a good look. Thank you, Baron. But we actually have some questions for you. Please ask away. I have nothing to hide. Baron, I would like to ask you about your activities on the night of the murder. Oh, am I in trouble? No, nothing like that. We're just gathering the full picture. I see. Well, let me think. The guests arrived at 5 o'clock, and we all sat down for dinner in this very hall at 6. That part went magnificently. The photographer arrived at 7 o'clock, but it wasn't until 7:30 that we had our picture taken. The housemaid discovered the crime scene soon after that. I see. Is there something else I can help you with, monsieur? You met your housemaid, Colin. She's a courteous young lady, isn't she? Yes, she was more than willing to help us with our investigation. I'm glad to hear it. Did you two want to ask something else? I think that will be all, Barrett. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure. Have a delightful day, messieurs. Did you get all the information you needed, Falcon? I hope so. Don't worry. If everything goes wrong in the trial, we could always just wing it. Terrible. Just terrible. Let's head back to the office and get some rest. Good. Everything seems to be going smoothly. To the studio. Let's talk to this photographer. So this is the studio of the famous photographer. Shall we knock? Wait, there's a note on the door. Ahem. A magnificent and marvelous artist, Monsieur Robitio de Robinho, is currently out on an artistic expedition. He shall return when his muse sees fit. When his muse sees fit? What does that even mean? I think it means that he is a pretentious bird brain, but in any case, the artist seems to be out. What shall we do now? We should knock anyway. Alright, I don't see the harm. Nope, doesn't look like he's in, Falcon. Ooh. Let's break in. We should break in. What? Are you serious? Maybe. Monsieur J.J. Falcon. I would have thought that a man of justice like yourself would be against such reckless displays of unlawful barbarism. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over. It's a brilliant suggestion. Stand back. I'm marching the door down. Wait, just like that? Shouldn't we discuss this first? What in bird Jesus' name was that? You said you wanted to break in. I thought we could find an open window. I didn't think you would turn into a bird-sized cannonball. Well, now we're here, we ought to make the most of it. This place is quite something. It's very swanky. I was going to say ostentatious. That's just swanky talk for swanky. We don't have time for this. The sound of the door being smashed and could be drawing unwanted attention. We should find anything that may help our case and get out. This is a photograph of a castle somewhere in the countryside. You know, I once had an uncle who fell off a castle rampart while on guard duty. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did he die? No, he got demoted. Ugh, terrible. Well, this game is wonderful. I love the puns. I see paints, inks, and dyes. Not quite sure what the clear liquid in this bottle is. I could taste test it. Could, but we don't have time for a hospital visit right now. So let's not. See a finely dressed dandy. Fellow up on a horse. This appears to be a photograph of a ladder, symbolic of climbing towards success, perhaps? It looks more like a stepladder to me. Oh no, we're not getting into that old argument. Ha! A beautiful picture of the Paris skyline. Given the angle, this must have been taken from Notre Dame Cathedral itself. A butterfly, or maybe a moth. It's difficult to tell in black and white. A lighthouse? No, wait. It's a man in a top hat. Actually, if I squint and turn my head sideways, it's a black smudge, Falcon. This is a tiny photograph of what appears to be a jail cell. That reminds me. How illegal is this? You know, breaking and entering, rifling through a person's belongings. It's okay. Recently passed amendment allows for proportionate amounts of property damage in the pursuit of criminal evidence. I don't think that's correct, but You use your legal jargon. Your use of legal jargon makes me have faith in your credentials. It sounds like you're starting to learn the finer points of the French justice system, Sparrowson. This is a picture of a fence. It's a fancy photograph. It leaves the viewer defenseless. And of all the pictures here, I would pick it as my favorite. Okay, I'm no more fence plans. A chandelier. You should get one of those for the office. I have the money for that sort of luxury. A picture of a sailing ship on a windy day. Hey, Falcon, look. What? It's just an easel. No, look what's on the easel. Aha. Oh wow, this must be a copy of the photograph from the evening of the murder. There's no question about it. I see a housemaid, Dame Cataline, and I think that's Senor Pertois, Cataline's father. So what shall we do? Do we just take this? We've come this far. Might as well borrow it. Studio photograph has been added to your evidence folder. Is there anything else we need to do here? Bourgeois targets and profile. Yeah, it looks like that's it. I think we're done snooping. Let's get out of here before we draw further attention to ourselves. Sounds good to me. Oh. Oh, mon Dieu. What happened to my door? Well, Monsieur Robinho, it's like this. You see, we are attorneys who have been hired for the purpose of... Raven! A raven did it! We saw the whole thing! What are you doing, Sparrowson? I've got this. I'm not going to jail because your conscience is acting up. Nobody's going to jail. Just take it easy. Ugh, damn ravens. They're always after our shiny objects, am I right? Yeah, that's right. Let's make a move. The trial day is approaching fast. Right, let's go. All right. The trial. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palais de Justice, awaiting the opening of a Tribunal de Grande Instance. Are you nervous, Falcon? Nope, we've got this case in the bag. Look at my feathers, see? Totally unruffled. Wow, at least one of us is feeling confident. Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrowson. Is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got a handle on things. Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case. That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through. Let's move it along, fellas. I'll be watching from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon. We will. Oh boy. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. Alright, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is everybody here? J.J. Falcon present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Rabington present. Ready is prosecution, Your Honor. Oh, darn. That's not it. Oh gosh, where are my notes? Ha! I knew it! Knew what? Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes. Oh, was he smart? No. He always scored the second worst marks in the class. I can only assume that he bumbled through all the final exams from the luck of his 2 rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, you might already have this trial in the bag. That's good to know. Let's say Sparrison. If Rupert scored the 2nd lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest? I choose to exercise my rights to not self-incriminate. I knew it. Here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Are the jury all present? All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Hey, Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8? Oh, the 2 birds with the funny hats are Asiros, the associate justices. Everything seems to be order. So let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Cataline de Meow. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand. Oh gosh, are we there already? Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volerti, to the witness stand. Inspector Volerti, please approach the stand and recite the oath. As you will, Your Honor, I will swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Inspector, please state your name and occupation for the record. My name is Inspector Justin Villette. I am a servant of the law, scourge of the gutter rats that plague the city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago. Let's stick to the questions, Inspector. Of course, Your Honor. Oh, great. I was hoping we could have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case? That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive on the scene of the crime. And perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival? Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Valor. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Cataline de Meow. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Grenouille, with his blood on her paws. Well, that sounds like an open and shut case in my humble opinion. No, more questions, Your Honor. But bloodied paws? No one told me that detail. Keep it together, Falcon. You were about to give the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course, I know this. Begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Da-da-da-da. Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Yeet. Use the left stick to select a key phrase that you find suspicious. Then press the A button to have Falcon press the witness for information. Ask the right questions, bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing the witness for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Like the statement to question. Inspector, you say Dame Catalina had blood on her paws? Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict's. How much blood was there on the lady's paws, Inspector? Enough for it to be clear that she had dirtied her hands on the victim's body. We noticed blood under the suspect's nails, around the fingertips, and even a little around her mouth. Her mouth? How vile. The inspector's answers seems definitive. You have another question about the blood on her. What a question. It was Monsieur Grenouille's, of course. How can you be so sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Cataline's paws would have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Grenouille. Judge, Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have a reason to suspect the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Grenouille? I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. Oh, yeah! Because it was the steak! This foolish time-wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did it come from? On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Ravington? Well, in a matter of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that this blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well, wait. Don't answer that, Inspector. It is a possibility. No. What a twist! Oh, that's great. No. So, Inspector Voletti, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? Now, hold on 1 minute, Falcon. You're overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Cataline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with a flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How can she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners? Oh, that is a good question, or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet, something that forced Dame Cataline to eat with her paws. Dame Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen. Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report. We weren't aware of anything missing from the Raga residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron Raga approached us about the very subject last night. Ah! What a twist! What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report? Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force. Ah. And it is amazing that the Prussian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Heh. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case. Fine, so be it. Messieurs, until next time. Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready. Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Robitio Borrobino, the photographer who attended the... Monsieur Robitio Robinho, please approach the stand and recite the oath. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliche, to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? As if anybody in this courtroom did not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Robitio Romino, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste. Tu es un pire. French. French sucks. You may have seen my works in hit magazines Le Bronze or Cis Chote. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon. It's the 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your works are very, impressive, Monsieur Rubinho. But let's get down to business. Could you tell us your, activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Rocky to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Mara and left, like a true artist. And with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves. Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look. My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Mara, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Senior Potois Vimero, the father of the defendant, Dame Cataline, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. Thanks. Say hi.
Hello.
There you go. You're good. What? What? And finally, we see the housemaid, Queen de Hot, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Cataline de Meow. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Just a moment, Monsieur Rabbington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not sure. The prosecution may continue. Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Volergy told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. You see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi for the time of the murder, save for Dame Cataline herself. Hey, Falcon, that photograph doesn't seem right. It looks different to the one we borrowed from Rubinio's studio. I see it too. Our photograph shows Colleen Duhot, Dame Caroline, and Signor Pertois. But Monsieur Rubinio's photograph shows Baron Rara, where the Dame Cataline should be standing. We assume that only one photograph was taken, then this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way. You should just slam that evidence down. Be like, bam, inconsistency. This whole courtroom is out of order. Case closed. I can't do that. Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words. Ma'am, can I help you? No, I mean I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained. If I were to present it, Monsieur Rubinio would ask how we acquired it, and the whole trial could derail. In a worst-case scenario, I could lose my legal license, and we'd be arrested for theft. Oh, well, we don't want that. No, we don't. I should tread lightly. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Very well, defense may proceed. It's a waste of time, if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. Select a statement to question. Monsieur Rubinio, you say you arrived at 7 o'clock? Give or take a couple minutes, yes. How do you know that you arrived at 7? Well, the clock in my house read 6:45 when I left, and the walk to Chateau Crinière is about 15 minutes. I don't claim to be a flawless timekeeper, but I am a professional. I always stick to an appointment. Do you have another question? Let's take a closer look at this photograph. I see a mistake in the photograph. Just to clarify, Monsieur Ruminio, photographs are of a direct reflection of reality, are they not? That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. That is most curious because I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible, I just told you. Monsieur, the camera is perfect. Or a perfect unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific. Certainly. The clock in this photograph. There's something not right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his clients. Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Rappington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evident. Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crinier has no hands. It has no hands? The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Lara or his housemaid if you have any doubts. Monsieur Brominio, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless. What? Okay. There's no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there was an error in the printing process. An error precisely where the clock's hands should be. Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Rubinio, edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Hi. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all of the photograph's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubinio created a perfect alibi. Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Rubinio coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Rubinio. Fine, you got me. I'm guilty. I did it all. You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grinley? What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered by whom? I dare not say. Monsieur Rubinio, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? This is most unfortunate. Monsieur Rubinio, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the witness, stand as a witness. Take your leave, and then you shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, messieurs. So the clock's hands were painted on? So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Cataline as absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant. Don't be dense, Monsieur Remington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Cataline was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for. So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Signor Pertois du Miao, perhaps? I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a means or motive. And it wouldn't make sense for Signor Pertois to implicate his own daughter. Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline? Because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. Monsieur Rappington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my opinion. But Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet. So you would think, prosecutor. And yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence. Incompetence? Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Very good. And I trust that the defense has no objections. No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening. Okay. Baron Wacha. On the night of the, And with that, we're going to take a brief break so I can eat dinner. No one paid attention to the spaghetti spot on my hoodie. It escaped a little bit. It was delicious. Alright. The initial dinner went magnificently. When we arrived together, Monsieur and we left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Signor Pertois, Monsieur Rubinio, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Rinley and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help. Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there. I would like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, Garçon? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well then, hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Rara, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Okay. Select a statement to question. Baron Malvar, I'd like to ask about the dinner you served that evening. Very well, ask away. Earlier today, we established that silverware was stolen from your residence prior to the banquet. Indeed, I am aware of whom the culprit is, but I have decided not to press charges. It is curious, then, that you decided to serve steak. It isn't what one would describe as finger food, after all. I don't know about that, Falcon. With the right attitude, all food can be finger food. It's true. There's nothing curious about it. Signor Pertois and Dame Cataline are vocal lovers of rare steak. I was merely suiting their needs. Besides, what other choice did the Baron have, Falcon? Serve vegetable broth like a common peasant? Do be quiet, Scudo. You sound ridiculous. Sorry, Baron. Do you have another question about the dinner? Yes. Now, about this red herring. Yes, what about it? I'm not sure, but I feel like it's a vital point stick. Fucking just want to clarify this. Are you saying that you wish to pursue the red herring? Go on, say that. I suspect the red herring may be a diversion. I'll leave it alone for now. Okay, that's a good call. The joke was starting to wear thin. You have another question about the dinner? I have some questions about Monsieur Grenouille. God rest his soul. Why did Monsieur Grenouille leave to visit the garden? I believe he wanted some fresh air. The steak did not sit well with him, I fear. Oh, I see. But that is quite coincidental timing, isn't it? How so? Well, Monsieur Grenouille felt sick and left the room just after the photographer arrived, and just before the murder occurred. One might draw a link between the food and the sickness. Hold on, Falcon. Surely you aren't suggesting that Monsieur Grenouille's food was poisoned in some way? I am. The events are too closely tied to be a mere coincidence. I am no expert, but I think the steak would have been a perfect medium to carry a small amount of poison. My word, what a revelation. But what evidence do you have of this poisoning? Bearing in mind, of course, that the coroner found no signs of poisoning, and no poison was found at the crime scene. Oh, well, to be completely honest, there's no hard evidence of poisoning. We can speculate. No, Monsieur Falcon, we cannot. I made myself look stupid. There's no need to bring out outlandish theories like poisoning into the equation. Monsieur Grenouille always had a soft stomach. Thank you. Goodbye. I've been brought cookies. Didn't think that through. That's okay. Alright. Mr. Grenouille always had a soft stomach. It's really no surprise that he couldn't keep down a good rare steak. Do we have another question about Monsieur Grenouille? Yes. What was your relation to Monsieur Grenouille prior to his last? We were business partners, Monsieur Grenouille, Seigneur Bourgeois du Miao, and myself all owned a third share in an up-and-coming railway company. Excuse the crassness of the question, but that means you and Seigneur Bourgeois would now own half of the company each, correct? Correct. I suppose that's a slight glimmer of benefit that arose from this foul situation. But, Monsieur, you must understand that Monsieur Grenouille and I were friends as much as we were business associates. I mourn the man's passing. Of course. We have another question. Oh my. Baron, we saw the murder scene. Your garden for ourselves. Baron Malva, when was the last time you ventured into your own garden? Sorry, the cookies are very delicious. But not gone. As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years. Lies. Years, you say? Indeed. Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but the claim does not hold up to scrutiny. Oh, and why is that? Because we have hard evidence that you visited the garden recently. Balderdash, my word is gold. Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden. This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred. A cigar butt? That could belong to anybody, and... Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself. Okay, sorry, Baron. That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize. Monsieur Falcon, or I misunderstood your initial question. Bull. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years, but naturally, after hearing the housemaids cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin. You see, Falcon, is a perfectly reasonable explanation. I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded, but as it happens, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience and a little paddling. The cigar butt was not dropped, it was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations. Are there? Because I can only think of one. That is that you, Baron Lara, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? You want me to spell it out? Fine, let's put everything in this. You, Baron Lara, murdered Monsieur Grenouille. That is what you were trying to keep hidden. Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen. That is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence, no means, motive, or opportunity. No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Randall. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Yammer as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion claws are sharp as a surgeon's blade. Gutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Rubinio confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence. My hoodie is a little bit of a There's less meat than I thought. Maybe. Nah, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You want a motive? What? Okay. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. This is preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build the perfect alibi for himself, photographing the guests in front of the handless clock to make it for easy editing and is quite an ingenious plan. It must be said. Prosecutor, are you just going to let this long go uncontested? Say something, object. You are pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So, out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of the sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Seigneur Pertois de Miao, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Cataline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage. Judge, I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic. No, there is only one outrage here. That is that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You're a bourgeois of the worst kind. How dare you, garçon? The utter nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist philanthropist like myself of something so heinous? I'm nothing like the fat cat bourgeois. I'm a respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp. I have to gut you right here and now, like a damned frog. Good. Can someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. To the concierge with you. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. Dog. This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add? Well, in a manner of, speaking, well, to be honest, no. And I shall now confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient in this time. Molly, hi. What?
Mommy hasn't fed me yet because she's
Falcon, that was pretty incredible. Thank you. I just hope it was good enough. What do you mean? You just proved Catalina's innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure. Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system. What's that? I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Cataline's innocence. All I have done is demonstrate that there is significant possibility that she is not guilty. I'm not sure that I understand the difference. We've reached a decision. In light of recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame Cataline de Miao, to be not guilty. Yay, we did it, yay. Yay. Monsieur Falcon, Monsieur Sparrowson, you did it. Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we? We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon. I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement. I'm so proud of you both. I'll go get 1 bottle of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses. You were amazing, Monsieur Falcon. Ah, it was nothing. I very much like the way you penned the murder on the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius. Well, I didn't pen anything. Sparrowson and I just worked at unveiling the truth, given the facts of the case. Monsieur Falcon, there is no need to play coy. The case is over. Play coy? Don't tell me you're actually being sincere. I'm completely lost. Oh, wow. I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you totally don't know. All right, I'll spell it out for you. What? What? What the fuck? This is stupid. Okay. Confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found the Baron Rogue's cigar butt hidden in the garden. Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest. But Falcon proved that Monsieur Rubinio's photograph was edited. It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Guinemy in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Rubinio to paint me over Baron Mallour and to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering either photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. What's with the silence? You should both be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeois kitty like me. I think you should leave. Fine. So much for the celebrations. Here's the payment for your services, straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, Petit Sparrowson. Falcon, what do we do now? Falcon? Okay. You know, I think we'll leave it there because that was ridiculous.